Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast. Time to hashtag everything. We talk about all the fun, crazy stories on social media. From Instagram to Facebook, Twitter to Tumblr, or probably even Friendster. Join us each week as we explore the quirky side of social media. It's the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
It's simple, such a sad song. The one that we rely on to get us.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Juan Newsom. Thank you for tuning in, conversationalists, thrill seekers, listeners. Let's go ahead and kick this off. Just to give you a rundown today, we're going to talk about the new craze over Joe Exotic, aka Tiger King. He's all over the internet, Twitter, Facebook, Twitchy, everywhere, memes, videos, made up videos. His face is all over the internet, folks. I've never seen anything like it. Also, Eminem, Nick Cannon, and Machine Gun Kelly. Now, what are these guys thinking? We're going to get into that later, because as far as I'm concerned, Eminem is a legend. Third, we're going to talk about social media events and the latest news on Twitchy. There's a lot of stuff out there, folks, a lot of entertaining things. Last but not least, and I think this is the best, we're saving the best for last, I'm going to tease you here, folks. It has something to do with basketball and dancing. And I know you're scratching your head saying, what does that have to do? What does basketball have to do with dancing? Well, folks, stick around and we'll see. So let's go into this first segment, folks. Tiger King. Oh my goodness. Now, sometimes when I'm on the internet, I'm just browsing and carousing like anyone else. Now, I have no idea what Tiger King is or what's going on, but I just see all of these memes and these pictures of this guy and tigers and cats. And I'm scratching my head like, I mean, they're still funny, even though I didn't have the context or the content. There's still funny memes and pictures of Joe Exotic Tiger King. But then I started calling around and asking folks, what is this? Who is this guy with the tigers? And so I started perusing Netflix after a few phone calls, and lo and behold, Tiger King series, documentary. And so, folks, just like everyone, I went down the rabbit hole of Netflix and I had to tune in. And oh my God, Tiger King is a comedy, but it's also a tragedy, if you ask me. Now, after looking through it, first of all, Tiger King. Come on, man. Okay, it's okay to have one husband, but you got two husbands? Now, how do you pull that off? Okay. Second of all, how come you're barely feeding your staff? Come on, Tiger King. Come on, man. They're working with tigers. You're making all this money, but then you're penny pinching on the staff. So, first episode introduces Tiger King and his background and how he got into the business and how he originally worked for another guy, Doc, who has 8 wives. We come to find out. So, I mean, the whole thing is a real big mess. I mean, it's like a car crash. It's like an infinite car crash, but you just can't stop watching, folks. It's just so entertaining. Now, to be honest, I kind of feel bad. It doesn't end well for Tiger King in this. So I kind of feel bad for him because, he seems like a pretty likable guy, overall. And, I can tell he does care about those animals, but, he made a lot of enemies. And, when you find yourself in life making a lot of enemies, sometimes you end up in a corner with nowhere to go. And that's kind of where that's kind of where it ended. But if you look at some of the memes, go and look at Tiger. They even have a Tiger King meme maker now where you can do your own stuff. But they had one meme of Tiger King, and on Twitter they had a feed of Tiger King and him being the front man for the group Poison. He does kind of look like the guy. He really he really do. And okay. Oh my God. And then they have this one picture of him in his blue shirt. This picture is being circulated, I think, more so than others, of him hugging a tiger, hugging a grown tiger at that. On Twitter, they have the best of Tiger King. So there's a Twitter handle, or I guess a Twitter user group handle. They have the best of the Tiger King series videos. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Oh, wow. And that includes some of the funniest moments. That includes some of the stuff with the animals. That includes also, oh wow, they have some stuff for Carole Baskin, his primary competitor there, who kind of drove him out of business. Oh my God. To me, that was really the sad part. I mean, she drove this poor man out of business. He did copyright infringe somewhat. He skated on the line, but they just sued the crap. Now, Carole Baskin, his main competitor, the lady that is in charge of, she's the owner and proprietor, her and her husband, of Big Cat Rescue, which is different from Tiger King or Joe Exotic's Big Cat Rescue Entertainment. That's where the lawsuit came in. She's suspected of killing one of her husbands because he's disappeared. Highly possible. I mean, Carole Baskin sued Tiger King's mother because they transferred assets in her name, and she almost lost the house. Oh my God, this story, it just goes on and on. I did finish the series, and if you like this sort of thing, folks, if you like what's on social media, you're gonna like the series, because the series, it's really good story. But again, like I said, it just doesn't end too well for Mr. Tiger King. Now, I honestly think that, oh man, hopefully, in the end, I think Tiger King is gonna work out. Currently, right now, he's serving a stint in prison, but who knows? Maybe he'll get out. I know his friend Jeff took over the zoo because he was kind of financially supporting him in the end before going to prison. But maybe you just never know. I can't believe it though. This guy did so much. I mean, he was so flamboyant, the two husbands and all. He ran for president in 2016 as an independent. He ran for governor of Oklahoma 2 years later as a libertarian. And this series, the Tiger King series on Netflix, a huge following. I mean, according to the Nielsen ratings, nearly 34.3 million people watched it over the first 10 days. So that just tells you right there, they're going to make, he's owed a huge, cash soon as he get out, even though he doesn't own all of the rights to the videos and so forth. In the series, they talk about that he had a partner, Rick Kirkham, who did all of the video shooting and so forth. But this guy's going to be owed a lot of money. In addition, it states that Joe Exotic, birth name Joe Maldonado, he is suing the federal government for wrongful imprisonment, and you never know, he may actually pull that off. But hopefully he gets out and we get to hear some more of the story. But right now, he's in prison, but even though he's in prison, his legacy lives on. I'm flipping now through Twitter. He is he is really the hot topic. And I'm sure he's hearing about it and seeing it in prison and thinking that he's thinking of ways to cash in once he get out. Hashtag Tiger King. Hashtag, I mean, you can do hashtag Tiger King and on Twitter, and it has pictures everywhere. Also, there's even some of the staff that are trending on the Twitter feed. This lady, Morgan Price, she said, "Oh my God, I just met Saf from Tiger King." That's the young lady who lost her arm while attending to one of the tigers. So, wow, this is the internet. I mean, Tiger King for the first few days broke the internet. Oh, another picture. Catch of the day has a cartoon picture of Tiger King. Joe Exotic again there. Tiger King jet ski guy's son. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They even have Tiger King's little kids dressing up as Tiger King as if it was a holiday, or I guess a Halloween costume per se. They even have a picture of Nick Cage. Nicolas Cage is on. He has the earrings and all. I don't know if it was, Photoshop or whatever. It says Nick Cage on the only way 2020 can make sense of Nicolas Cage to give the universe the movie he's been auditioning for all his life, Tiger King. Then the world can heal and move on from this dark place. Please join him in this vision quest. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh, another poster of staff. My parents eating next to the guy from Tiger King. Oh wow. Yep. That's Jeff Lowe, the guy who took over the zoo. So wow. Tiger King is hot, man. It is hot. Let me go to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook, folks. Facebook has even more pictures, more so. So, okay, Facebook, all of the memes are on Facebook. I mean, if you can go ahead and do #Tiger King, or just even type Tiger King. Oh, the big cat rescue. Well, that's not Tiger King stuff. There are a lot of cartoon pictures of Tiger King. And this guy has a huge, huge, huge following. Then they have a comic. They have a comic of Tiger King versus Carol Baskin. He has guns and she's waving her finger. Oh my God. Well, my opinion on this subject is I think Tiger King came at the right time. There's other things outside of this realm. I know we don't do politics on this show, but I believe that, this show was and it's seemingly, you can't get away from politics anywhere else, even in sports. I think Tiger King gave us a little escape, here's something. People are always curious about exotic animals and, why they're being kept. And, there's a lot of celebrities that they hold exotic animals. Some celebrities, they adopt and they take care for exotic animals in their homes and so forth. And I think that was a part of the phenomenon. Another part of the phenomenon is I think the general public just wanted an escape, and to be really entertained, and to have surety that, nothing political entered into the purview, through this venue. So I think those are the things that's why Tiger King, and also the personalities that were there on the show, I think that just made it that much sweeter. I think in the future, hopefully, Mr. Exotic gets out, and again, maybe he can do another documentary, do another series, or we'll get an update on his life and status. So it's just interesting. This was a crazy phenomenon. I was an innocent bystander, and all of a sudden I woke up one morning and I was inundated with Tiger King memes, not knowing what in the world had happened. Who is this man that's been paraded on the internet, on Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram, holding all of these exotic animals. So Tiger King, I know you're in prison. I know you're down, but I know you're not out. We're out here. We're still floating your material. Your legacy lives on. So hopefully we'll see you soon.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast, dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
So we're back from the break. In our previous segment, we discussed Tiger King. And if you missed that, you can catch that on our iTunes or on the GSMC website, where we have our podcast embedded. So next subject, we're going to talk about these rap wars. This is something that I really don't understand. So I'm looking on Twitter. I had no idea this thing was going on. And I'm on social media all the time. Maybe it's because I have other interests. So apparently there's a three-way war, or really there's a bilateral war going on between Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, also Eminem and Nick Cannon. So Machine Gun Kelly is tweeting about Eminem and his daughter and so forth. They're going back and forth on songs. First of all, Machine Gun Kelly, who in the heck are you? Okay, I mean, I heard your diss song. I heard the diss song. I saw the tweet. It was inappropriate because you were talking about Eminem's daughter, but I heard the diss song. It was alright for you. Are you kidding me? First of all, this guy built this career off battle rapping early in his career. That's how he came into the industry, as a battle rapper in Detroit, and he came to New York and smoked some dudes too behind the scenes. Second of all, this guy is one of the best rappers, MCs of all time. I mean, if you look, there is a reason why. There's a reason why Eminem is on the top 10 of hip hop album sales of all times. Twice. He's on that thing twice, man. The only other person who's up there twice is Tupac. Are you guys freaking kidding? And Nick Cannon, what are you doing? First, let me go to Machine Gun Kelly first of all. Okay, so Machine Gun Kelly comes out with his diss track. It was okay. He had some decent rhymes up there. There's some stuff up there apparently Eminem didn't even know about. about him not being able to have access and trying to shelf his album and so forth. There's an interview up there with Eminem and Sway, and they went over some of the lyrics. And apparently Eminem had no idea this guy existed, which I could believe, because who in the world is this guy? Second of all, Eminem comes out with his diss track and just totally kills this guy. Social media is all over it. I mean, not just Facebook and Twitter, but also YouTube. There's a lot of reviewers on YouTube reviewing this diss war. So, okay, here you go. I'm on Twitter now. Username Yash. So let me get this straight. Revolt is mad about leaked verse, but when it comes to journalists or artists who constantly trash Eminem on their platform, it's cool. MGK signed to Diddy, Charlemagne, and Budden. Yeah, that's another one. Joe Budden. Just stop it. Stop it, Joe Budden. Okay? You had one or two popular songs, and the only reason why one of those songs made a lot of money is because it was on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. Let's stop it right there. Stop it right there. Okay, here we go. Did he really put MGK over Logic and G-Eazy? Well, at least he got Eminem right. Eminem be like, I know a spot that doesn't exist. MGK's career. Oh my goodness. That's Coochie's daddy. That's the user's name. I don't know where he gets these names from. Mark. I still can't believe how good Kill Shot by Eminem really is. Imagine going for him seriously. Yes, and if you listen to that song Kill Shot by Eminem, he was not really going after him seriously, but he was still killing him. There's even reference to him building MGK up in order to shut his career down. So maybe he went a little light on MGK in order for him to respond again, so that he can give him the ultimate kill shot. That's just my theory. I'm not sure. That's just a theory that I'm floating out there. So here it is. I still can't believe how good Kill Shot by Eminem really is. Imagine going for him seriously. MGK, silly boy, ain't heard nothing from him since that, apart from his movie role on Netflix. Okay, Chief Mrs. Watt. It's absolutely wild to me that people ever thought MGK was ever even close to being as good or better than Eminem. That's the whole thing. People diss Eminem. I don't see it. So I'm gonna tell you who did it. It's Machine Gun Kelly, Nick Cannon. For some reason, Lord Jamal from Brand Nubian, he has butt hurt too. I don't know what that's about. If the guy is talented, I think a lot of this stuff, they just, they discriminate because of his style, and, he's not really talking a lot of street stuff. Eminem's music is very introspective. He's talking about his thoughts, his feelings, his family, his life. Early in his career, he talked a lot about his wife and his mom, but then it's still relatable. It don't. Look, folks, I'm 40. Okay. The history of rap, I've gotten to see it from almost the very beginning until where it's evolved to. Before, it was just New York. New York had all the rappers, right? Really. Then it kind of migrated over to LA, and you had Common in Chicago. He was a really popular rapper in the early ages. Maybe I would say the second generation of rap. I would count a lot of the guys that you would consider old heads second generation rapper. First generation is like, Sugar Hill Gang and Houdini and Kool Moe Dee and those cats. But then second generation, you know, you're looking at, you know, your Redmans, and I mean, you have your Redmans and your Wu-Tang Clans, and you have, rap has evolved. You know, it went from LA to the South. You know, that's when you had Outkast, and from Outkast you had T.I. and Lil Flip and Ludacris and Chingy, and I mean, it just, you know, rap is one of those things that evolve, and people in Detroit have stuff to talk about, man. Detroit, you talking about Detroit in 1964, one of the highest capita incomes in the country in terms of, you know, upper and middle class, and it's a very, very depressed area now. And so all those kids were doing in the 90s in Detroit, they were rapping. They were rapping, or, you know, if they weren't trying to do something positive, get an education, they were doing other things. But I could see how a rapper from Detroit, a white rapper from Detroit, could make it, because there's a lot of pain there. And so these guys, Lloyd Jamal, Machine Gun Kelly, Nick Cannon, and you guys are whack. He calls Lloyd Jamal the weakest link in Brand Nubian, which, you know, is somewhat true. Okay, here's another post. Good night to everyone except It's All About to Be's, because he prefers Eminem over MGK. Tasteless. Eminem, why is nobody... Okay, here's a projection post. Eminem, why is nobody talking about how great I am? MGK, living life happy and being multi-talented. Eminem, I'm going to mention him again so folks can talk about me again. Oh, God. Obviously, MGK fan. So, people are obviously taking sides on this. How some of these people saying that MGK is better than Eminem? I have no clue how that's happening. I really don't. Nick Cannon. So let me finish this thing out with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, I met your mom personally. Beth, very nice lady. So for the sake of Beth, I'm going to be nice, because we had to get together in Albany, and she was a guest of a friend of the family, and I got to talk to her for a long time. And so for the sake of Beth, I'm going to be really nice to you. Nick Cannon, your music is whack. It's totally whack. Stop tweeting about Eminem. Stop sending diss tapes. Just stop it. Just stop it. Just end your rap career, okay? You had that one song, Gigolo, and the only thing that made that thing great was that R. Kelly produced it. But that's it. You were whack on that. So all of this Eminem stuff, come on, man. You talk about one of the greatest rappers, one of the greatest hip-hop artists who ever lived. And there's not a rapper alive today that would challenge him. And I know damn well you won't challenge him. You couldn't hold his jockstrap in a suitcase, basically. So please cut it out. Cut it out. And Lord Jamal, look, man, you had your time. Okay? You really did. I like Brand Nubian. One of my favorite rap groups of all time. You guys are hardcore. If I had to look up pure hip hop in the dictionary, your picture would be right next to it. But come on, man, just stop it with the hate, brother. Give credit where credit is due. You go on Vlad and trash this dude all the time. Come on, man. You're just building him up anyway. I mean, he don't even really need building up. He's nobody's gonna challenge this guy. Nobody wants a piece of this guy in a battle. It's just not gonna happen. That includes you guys. And Machine Gun Kelly, just chill, man. Just build your own career. You don't have to cut the head off of anyone to build your own career. You can rap. I've listened to your stuff. You're very good. You just need some material, really. Find something to talk about. You don't have to be on Twitter all day long dissing Eminem, talking about his daughter. I mean, that's just really inappropriate. So come on, guys. Come on, guys. And Eminem, look, man. From you to me, brother, keep on doing what you're doing. Don't let these haters fade you. Kamikaze was one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm not just saying this as a fan of yours. I'm saying this because it's just good stuff, you know, and some of these kids, they don't really appreciate good hip hop nowadays. Now, okay, I'm on Twitter again. Oh my goodness. It's not. You got to go and listen to that Sway interview, guys. The Sway interview, it captures everything. Oh, here it is. Oh, Eminem is the Sherlock Holmes of rap. Your friendly reminder that Eminem murdered MGK. Love them both, though. Pav. That's cool. That's what's up. Does anyone... Quentin would drop kick himself. That's the name. That's his handle. Does anyone else remember the MGK and Eminem diss track thing that felt like a fever dream? That is hilarious.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Oh, they got Smokey and Craig from Friday. Damn. I tell you, the internet does not lose, baby. That's what I mean, man. Once it get out there, look, if I was an MC, I would be scared to death to challenge Eminem, man. Let alone in the era of the internet where he could just break you off and then the internet responds in such a way. So folks, coming up again, next segment, we're going to go to social media news and Twitter, Facebook, but also last segment, you want to be here, basketball and dancing. Welcome back for our third segment. We're going to go to the latest on social media. If you missed our first segment, we talked about Tiger King, aka Joe Exotic, the phenomenon, to me, one of the biggest phenomenons on the internet ever. Second segment, we talked about the rap wars between Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly, and Nick Cannon, which to me isn't really a war because Eminem outgunned both of those chumps. And now we're going into the latest of social media, but I want to let you know our last segment, we saved the best for last, basketball and dancing, folks. You're not going to want to miss this. So keep that thing tuned on, keep it live, keep it hot. We're going to go in now. So here we go. So latest in social media news, my favorite is entertainment and media. Okay. Apparently, The creators of The Simpsons say white voice actors will no longer voice people of color, just yellow ones. Okay, I don't get that. I guess they do have the character Abu there who owns the convenience store. So here it is. I'm going to just read a quick excerpt. In a sense, The Simpsons had been through this before after a documentary that no one saw Vince voice Zara to step aside from voicing Indian American character Apu. Now we have Kristen Bell apologizing and saying she'll no longer voice a mixed race character on Netflix Central Park, and Mike Henry, who has been the voice of Cleveland Brown on Family Guy, the Cleveland show for 20 years, says he'll step aside to make room for a person of color to take over the role. Oh, and voices actress Jenny Slate will no longer voice Missy, a biracial character on the Netflix series Big Mouth. It's an animation revolution, people. Now The Simpsons, which has bowed to the woke model. Okay. That's as far we're gonna go there. Okay. Oregon and Oregon State will no longer refer to in-state rivalry games that often divide family loyalties as Civil War. Oh, wow. I had no idea it got that bad in Oregon. I could imagine, though. Look, some of your family support Oregon, some of your family support Oregon State. It may get a little testy at the barbecue. I could get that. Here it is. Oregon and Oregon State mutually agreed to no longer refer to the Oregon State rivalry game as the Civil War. Okay, I can see how that. Hey, look, I can see how that can happen. Michigan State. Hey, it's not just them. There are other teams, but well, you got where I'm from Virginia, so there was UVA, Virginia Tech. That was kind of a battle. Or below us, we would travel down to North Carolina. The North Carolina State UNC games, they would get pretty testy no matter what the sport was. So I can kind of relate to that. All right. Rest in peace, Splash Mountain. Oh no! What happened to Splash Mountain, man? Disney's Splash Mountain, based on the 1946 film Song of the South, will be completely reimagined with scenes from more. Okay, so they're going PC. That's fine. They're gonna do a redo. They're gonna do it over. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. They're gonna remodel it. I thought they were gonna just take it away. Okay. All right. Entertainment news, cartoons. So if you go to Twitchy Cartoons now, there's, oh goodness gracious, Mom, Dad, why did they go so political? Okay, we can't do this. We're not a political show, okay? We're not doing this. Media. Let me go media. Okay. Okay, I can't escape it. I'm going to Twitter. How about that? Home of the... Oh, wow. Huffington Post. Before you drink another glass of wine, read this. Okay, this is going to be interesting because this is kind of trending on Twitter. A lot of retweets. 1.8 thousand, 7,000 likes. Why this at-home wine tasting experience is giving us life. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole article, but I can kind of give you an idea. We all love wine so much that most nights a week our editors sip a glass or two to wind down after work. But lately, getting a liquor store is difficult, and most night wine is out of stock. Last time I checked, why risk going out and finding a mediocre selection when you could have wines you love delivered directly to your door? Oh, My wife would love this stuff. Enter Tasting Room. Tasting Room, the fastest growing wine club in the nation, is changing how wine is sold. They bring an interactive wine tasting to you, and we're all for anything that means we don't have to leave the house these days. Think of it as the movie industry, where you do go to rent a movie, and who gives you a movie recommendation? If you're anything like me, look forward to Netflix and food after work. We don't hit the video store to browse new releases or recommended movies anymore. Likewise, new technology has penetrated the wine industry. Now this is something that's going to take off, because you're stressed out adult. You have your day and you go to work and you come home and you deal with the kids, especially if you have kids. But even if you don't have kids, you have your day at work. You want to come home, you want to sit down. Look, the best thing you could do is have you a nice meal and get you a nice glass of wine afterwards. No way better to end your day. So, wow. This is brilliant, actually. Let me hide this before my wife gets here. Let's see here. They have a meme for it. It's two ladies. How much do you spend on a bottle of wine? I would guess about half an hour. Hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, look, you know what? I am actually going to save this website so that I can have a look at this wine service later. All right. Oh no. Okay. Anything endorsed by the Huffington Post is something I most definitely will support. Oh wow. Nice. Lot of good responses to this. Some negative responses. I don't know why. I mean, look, wine is universal. I mean, the Huff Post can be political. They have an opinion section, but they also have other sections. So I don't see how wine can be political. Wine clubs are pretty cool. I've dabbled a little. Okay. All right, what else is trending? What's happening? All right. Let me go. I'm here, folks. I'm gonna try to get you more stuff. Ooh, Doom Patrol. Okay. Season 2, Doom Patrol is coming out. And you can see it on HBO Max. Oh, nice. Okay. I'm going to check it out. Season 1 was great. Cyborg. I think a lot of people checked that out for Victor Stone. Cyborg. Probably the most major character. Of course, Cyborg was a Justice League member as well. So, for those of you that don't know, I am a comic head, anime head, and that looks pretty cool, actually. What else is trending? I'm a Twitter guy, man. I love Facebook though, but man, I like Twitter. I like the way that when you see the way that things, the algorithms and how the trending is displayed there. They have a very good display. Oh, it's Elon Musk's birthday. I like Elon. That dude he is Tony Stark, though. I'm telling you, that guy is hilarious. Oh, a lot of birthday wishes. If you're on Twitter and you scroll all the way down in the trending section, and it has Elon Musk, and his birthday is there. Okay. What else? Other things. For some reason, The Exorcist is trending. Oh, God. It's funny. I saw The Exorcist trending and I thought Linda Blair was getting canceled for playing Possessed Girl instead of actual Possessed Girl getting the role. Oh my God, that is hilarious and so not PC. Happy birthday to the legendary Dick Smith, who did the iconic makeup effects for The Hunger, Scanners, Alter State, Starman, Sweet Home, The Exorcist, Ghost Story, Monsters, and many others. John BB22, The Exorcist. To this day, I still find it to be the scariest film ever made. Yes, definitely. I saw this movie with my sister Cynthia, God rest her soul. She was just one of those scary movie people. She just could take it. She could sit there and take it all day, like without blinking, eating. So don't see how she did that all the time, but she did it. She's just a scary movie buff. So if anything, I missed that about her. What movie traumatized you as a kid? Me, Jaws, and then The Exorcist. And Pandy. I'm not going to put a whole handle up here. The Exorcist. Thanks to Uncle Adam for thinking this was an appropriate movie for a 7-year-old to watch while you babysat me. That is absolutely hilarious. Sorry, folks. I'm laughing because, I just remember seeing it. So. Yep. What makes some horror movies stand out? Like The Exorcist, great directors. I wish more great ones would do horror once in a while. That is funny. That is funny. What else is trending, folks? Let me see what else. Before this segment ends, Mel Brooks. What about Mel Brooks? He's trending, yeah. Oh, it's his birthday as well. So Elon Musk and Mel Brooks, born on the same day. You're in good company. If you have a birthday today, and if you do have a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Folks, coming up next, we have our last segment. And as I've been teasing, it has something to do with basketball and dancing. Please stay tuned. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back. I'm Juan Newsom, and I am your host today on the GSMC Social Media News Podcast.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Thank you, folks. This is Juan Newsom, and I am back Okay, and I wanted to tease you. I teased you through all three of the previous segments. First segment, we talked about Tiger King. Second one, the rap wars between Eminem, Nick Cannon, and MGK. Third segment, we went over some of the latest social media news. And so the last but not least, I wanted to talk about, and it's been trending on Facebook, especially Facebook and Twitter, The Last Dance, baby. Michael Jordan, okay? And the reason why is because for the last 2 years, I've been on social media. I don't even have to get on specific posts, okay? This thing has been bothering me, okay? Last 2 years, social media, specific posts referring to LeBron James as the GOAT. All these millennial basketball fans, that's what it is. That's basically what it is. You guys ain't really seen no basketball. So, look, don't get me wrong. The basketball players today are great. They're better dribblers, ball handlers. They shoot better overall, generally. But you got to understand, the defense is weaker. The game is not as physical as it was back then. Jordan used to get murdered going into the hole, man. Especially by the Pistons. The bad boy Pistons? Are you kidding me? So, I wanted to talk about The Last Dance because I lived through that era. And I just happen to know a lot about it. The last 3 seasons, I probably saw every one of those Bulls games. That last three-peat, I saw every one of those games, just about, because WGN, I lived in Virginia at the time. WGN was one of the major networks that we had, one of the major sports networks that we had on the cable package on Cox Cable, and I saw every Bulls game, pretty much. So I know a lot about it, and I even saw some of those games in person. I got to travel either to when they played the Bullets at the time, the Washington Bullets, which are now the Washington Wizards, and I got to play and saw Michael Jordan in one game in Chicago. So let me tell you something now. And just to tease you, at the end of this, I'm going to give you my top 10 basketball players, and I'm going to tell you specifically reasons why, okay? So, I'm in a lot of these sports groups. First of all, the memes from The Last Dance were hilarious, okay? They had one meme when Michael Jordan was talking about meeting Patrick Ewing when they had to fly up to New York to play, and Jordan looking for anything to motivate him to have a better game, took offense when Ewing said, I hope you do your thing today. And he's like, do my thing? What do you mean, do my thing? And then he has this perturbed, angry kind of look. He said, well, I guess I got offended when they cut back to the scene where Jordan is talking to the camera. And then the next thing you know, Jordan is over Ewing, dunking all on him and so forth. And it's just pretty hilarious. Just a pretty hilarious scene in The Last Dance. But here's another thing now. I hate to say this, but there's politics and everything. This whole GOAT conversation, this thing is bothering me. Going back to that for just 1 second. What about Kobe, man? Look, this is just my opinion. LeBron ain't better than Kobe, okay? I'm sorry. I love LeBron, okay? I think LeBron is the difference, okay? I'm going to tell you the difference. I'm going to tell you why these players are being treated differently. LeBron is very public, friendly, good father, good husband, all that. Very public guy. He's kind of opened his life up. You see him at his kids' games. And so you never saw any of that with Mike. Nothing. Mike was very public, but he segregated. He compartmentalized his life. Okay. Kobe was never very public with his life and his and when he got in trouble in Colorado up there, this is what happened. He's got even less public. You know, he wasn't that friendly to the media. He was, you know, he would go and do his interviews and be out. He wasn't buddy with them like that. That's another reason why they're skipping over Kobe. Okay, it's political reasons for this. Kobe is an exact copy of Jordan, and there are some things that Kobe does better than Jordan too, but they skip. Oh, here's another thing too. There's another layer to this. Some of these sports analysts that you watch on TV every day, and some of them former players. A lot of the former players like Jordan and whatnot respect them and so forth. But I'm talking about some of these sports analysts who may be on ESPN or Fox or some of these other stations. Maybe when Jordan was dominating the league, they were call men for their local teams. You know, they were doing the local, you know, whether it's the local radio or calling a game or whatever. So they got to witness Jordan come in and trash their teams repeatedly over the course of years. So that's another hidden element that no one's even talking about. But don't worry, your Uncle Juan is gonna bring this up because I analyze stuff like this. So this is what I do. This is why they pay me what they pay me over here. Okay. So your Uncle Juan is telling you that look at Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has gone crazy out his doggone mind talking about LeBron is the GOAT when the numbers don't add up. I could see if Shannon Sharpe said, okay, I think it's Kareem. There's a case for Kareem because Kareem is arguably, no, it isn't even an argument, the best college basketball player to ever live. I mean, you know, there's a few on that list. Kareem. I mean, you could put James Worthy on that list. Len Bias. You know, like, there's only a few people that stick out on that greatest college player of all time list, right? All right. Christian Laettner. Okay. But then you got Kareem, who then never took a year off, dominated the game pretty much in his entire career from the center position, even though Wilt Chamberlain would eat his lunch occasionally now. All right? I'm going to just put that out there. Wilt Chamberlain would eat his lunch. He would block that skyhook, okay? They never talk about that, but okay. Anyway, so if Shannon Sharpe said Kareem was the GOAT, all right, you got an argument, Shannon. You got an argument. I can't argue with you. Because Kareem was great. He's the all-time scoring leader. He has so many accolades, so many trophies, so many championships. But LeBron ain't the GOAT, man. I just hate to say it, and I love LeBron. And I seen LeBron play up here. He came up here to play against the Nets. And he's incredible. And here's the unfortunate thing. And I turned this into from a social media podcast to a sports podcast. But I gotta do this because you're not gonna hear this anywhere else. LeBron is so talented. I honestly believe that sports analysts, because they're lazy and because they don't have anything else to talk about, because they're not willing to do their jobs, is that we kind of didn't get to enjoy the LeBron legacy. You understand what I'm saying? That, you know, trying to compare him to Jordan out the box, they just kind of undercut that. That was a ding on his legacy. They dinged his legacy by claiming he was the GOAT so much. You know, and they put the pressure on this kid early in his career, man. Come on, dude. Dude came out of high school. I mean, what do you expect? So, social media goes crazy. It's 24/7. This is something that's not going to stop until maybe LeBron retires, or maybe not even then. But I'm going to bring this into it too. They've compared so many other people to Michael Jordan. Okay, there was Harold Miner, which he had potential, but his career didn't pan out the way that they thought it would. They used to call him Baby Jordan. Person that I thought had the potential to pass Jordan got injured, Grant Hill. They were comparing Grant Hill. Now, Grant Hill's game was a lot like Jordan's, okay? And he was a little bit quicker off the dribble than Jordan was coming out. And then he was so seasoned. He was so seasoned as a college player. And he could shoot and he could defend. I mean, when he was in Detroit, I remember that his first couple of seasons in Detroit after he was drafted, he gave Jordan and Pippen the business, man. Grant Hill. Go back and look at the Grant Hill highlights on YouTube against Jordan and Pippen. Oh my goodness. Gave them the business. Okay. Third, and now they did Kobe. Of course, when Kobe first came into the league, he came out of high school. His game wasn't like Jordan's, but he had a lot of potential, but he kind of mimicked Jordan's game and it worked. But there are some things that Kobe does better than Jordan. I thought he was a more efficient shooter. Okay. Kobe was more sound, and this is my impressions from what I've read and what I've seen in terms of the team dynamic. Kobe is a little bit more friendlier to the teammates, you know. Yeah, he's one of those floor generals that are going to push you, that you can rely on, and a good team leader, but he's a little bit more friendlier. And according to Phil Jackson, Kobe was a better practicer. You know, Phil Jackson said it himself. He'd never seen anyone that practiced as hard as Kobe. So that's just really a testament to how great he was. But the media's ignoring this guy because he wasn't friendly to them. He wasn't friendly to him. So I don't know, folks. I mean, you go to any basketball sports group on Facebook and Twitter. Go to Shannon Sharp's Facebook page and go to Shannon Sharp's Twitter and some of the videos where he's got a goat. This dude is crazy. He's literally has a goat head on with the Lakers jersey, and he's calling LeBron Goat James. Come on, man. Come on, Shannon. What happened, man? Did Jordan not give you an autograph or something? Is that what happened? Did he not give you an autograph? Did he not? What's all of this Jordan? Where is this Jordan hate coming from, Shannon? Come on, man. Come on, man. You're killing me. You're killing me, Shannon. You're killing me. You gotta give credit where credit. So my top 10, it's gonna be brief. First, Michael Jordan, of course, greatest basketball player of all time, greatest ability of all time. Put money into the league. There was no money in the NBA until Jordan got there. There was no sneaker endorsements. The NBA had grown globally. Second, Kobe. That's all I'm gonna say. Kareem third, okay? LeBron James, I'm going to put him at number 4. All right? Then I'm going to put Magic Johnson. Then I'm going to put Larry Bird. Then I'm going to put Charles Barkley. Then I'm going to put Hakeem Olajuwon. He's number 8. All right? Then I'm going to put Scottie Pippen. Doggone it. Scottie Pippen is one of the greatest. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Scottie Pippen is one of the GOATs. All right? Then I'm putting Bill Russell. That's my top 10, all right? You got a problem with it? Come see me. Okay, folks, I just want to thank you for listening to that. Thank you for listening to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Network. I would like to ask you to please remember to subscribe to the show give us a nice review, folks, because that's going to really help us out in terms of our reach. Go to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go to our iTunes and subscribe to us, folks. We just want to thank you, folks, for being into us, and tune in next time. I'm Juan Newsom, and I'll be back right at you.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.